she let me do her.
In the west, it's me, Chi. Oh, with the new flows, new clothes, smoking Mac and noodles, shopping new hoes, you know. Keep me a buzz from the crystal fluid, taking out you suckers and you don't know how I do it. It's the Don, what? With the reputation for making everybody dance to the sun.
We're going all the way to the top. Mary Blige and Rock, the queen of R&B, the king of hip hop. So stop, y'all ain't no match for us. Never drop gold, everything platinum plus. Now throw your hands in the air, get close to honey. Yeah, the ladies had they night, but fellas is out here to do our thing. Make y'all scream and get the cream. Now listen to Mary sing, tell them I'm everything.
My darling, only you can make my dreams come true. And every night I pray you'll never go away. I promise I will ride until the day I die to treat you like a king, 'cause you are my everything. You take me away and you bring me paradise. Bring me paradise. And when I have cloudy days, you bring
y'all wanna do, huh?
Good afternoon. Let's do a sound check. Let me set us up. My apologies. Let me set us up. What's good? Can we do this sound check? Microphone check. 1 2 1 2. How we doing out there? How's the world? Welcome to the Wyatt Live conversation. I appreciate the few and the two that are here. I appreciate you. I really do. Thanks for having my back. Let me twist this light right here. What's good with everyone? I don't have much today. I don't have much of a conversation. Thank you, LaDonna. She said, Mike sounds nice. John Ludd on YouTube says, let's get it. I don't want to disappoint anyone today. I just don't, yeah, let me fix these lights, man. I kind of just hit the power button because I was on my way. Excuse me. I was on my way to send that message. Not today, y'all. It ain't going to happen today, y'all. I don't feel it today, y'all. Thank you. Vincent Jones says, sound is crispy. Thank you. Mama Birch, what's good? She said, howdy, Randy. She can only do that. She's the only one that can call me Randy. She's the only one that can get away with that. I don't know what it is with Mama Birch, but y'all got to understand, like, we got history. Her kids are my age. They're my brothers, my sisters. And I just seen that Cece, I think her daughter birthday just happened. Am I right, Mama Birch? Because I just said happy birthday to her. I sent happy birthday. I just, what's scary? You know what's scary? I don't know how, I'm sure I'm not the only one that recognized stuff like this. But Mama Birch, you know what's crazy? Her kids look like she did when she was a child. It's the scariest shit in the world for me. It kind of make me, it's kind of bringing Twilight Zone shit to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all got to understand the traits in that Birch Lavender family are strong. They all look alike. They all look like they mama. Darnell, Jimmy, they all look alike. All. And they look like the daughters look like they mama. It's just so scary because when I look at Cindy and them children, when I look at her, she said, yes, her 14-year-old twins. It's scary looking at them beautiful babies. It's scary because they look like they mama when she was their age, like when they were little. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, wow, this is crazy. Like, that's Cindy when she was a little girl. And I'm like, man, that's crazy. See, like, my children don't look like me. People say they do, but they really don't look like me. They don't look like little Randy down the way. You know what I'm saying? They don't look like that. And none of my kids ever grew up with, you ain't gonna have them with no nappy heads and shit. You know how we took those pictures down the way, Mama Birch, in the court. You know what I'm saying? In the court. You know what I'm saying? When we didn't know the camera was working. My children they from the era of cell phones and computers and everything is a picture and all that. They grew up in the digital world. We didn't grow up in the digital world. We grew up in the Polaroid world. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the biggest thing to us back in the day was a Polaroid. You take a picture, snap it, and I mean, it was like magic to watch you take that picture like, and then that picture come out the bottom of it like, that was some dope shit back in the day. Now, you can take a picture and send yourself in that picture. You can crop it. You can do all this special stuff with technology. You can put yourself in Paris. You can do all these things with these pictures. These kids are growing up in a tech world. It's an era of all type of stuff. You know what I mean? And what's crazy about it is it's only getting stronger. Technology is getting stronger. Like, I'm afraid of this AI thing. I know I'm gonna be dead and gone probably by the time it gets to the what is that Terminator shit? I'm gonna probably be dead and gone by the time we get to the Terminator shit, where they're gonna be chasing y'all little asses around and taking over, and they're gonna be everything that's running the world, and We're going to be fighting the Terminators, and that shit about to happen. I don't know, 40, 50 years, maybe 60 years. Shit, it could be next week if they really wanted to. Did y'all see that motorcycle? Somebody sent a motorcycle in the Wyatt Live Messenger clip. It's not a motorcycle. It's a robot that you're riding. And the robot is an actual, like a Jaguar. A real Jaguar with the arms and legs, and it's doing this. You're like riding the back of a horse, but a Jaguar. You know what I'm saying? And this thing stop on a dime. It climb hills. I mean, it do everything but talk, and it probably will talk. They just ain't advertised that portion of it to you yet. And I'm saying to myself, I wouldn't buy one of them. I can't ride that. I wouldn't be able to ride that technology. No. My daughter grew up afraid of robots, and stuffed animals, the ones that are at Kings Island and at Disney parks. She don't like nothing that's like fake like that. She's smart. She's very smart when it comes down to that type of stuff. But she's seen something a long time ago that we didn't see. And I used to get on her about it. Oh, this shit fake. Don't worry about that. No, Daddy, that could be real. That could be real. She didn't like Terminator, the movie. She don't like robotics. She didn't like that type of stuff. She said, I don't feel good about it, Daddy. I just don't feel. There you go. Preston Smith said Kawasaki. I wouldn't have been able to say that unless you spelled it out for me, Preston. Thank you, brother. But it is the Kawasaki motorcycle company. And it's the craziest shit I've seen in AI. Now, I've seen a lot of AI and robotic stuff here lately. Matter of fact, I'm kind of into that type of stuff. If you ever ask me what my major investments have been in the last 10 to 11 months definitely in the physical year of 2025, but the ending, like October, November-ish of 2024, I've pretty much put all my portfolio towards robotics, AI. It's the future. It's going to lead the world in everything that we have and everything that we do. Another thing that I shared in the Wyatt Live Messenger group earlier was not the Kroger stock. Okay, not the Kroger stock. I think everybody that shops at Kroger's should own some Kroger stock. I mean, it only makes sense. It's a rebate. It's how I figure myself in life. Every week, if you're in the game of stock trade, wouldn't you own some stock of something that you use or visit or purchase on a day-to-day or a weekly or a monthly, time frame? Why wouldn't you own? I call it rebating, because when I get my dividend checks, I just use my dividend checks toward the bill of whatever I'm buying, such as groceries, my cell phone. The one thing I don't like right now, and I probably shouldn't say this on the air because I don't know, maybe it might get some blowback from some people. Nike is very disappointing. I guess I missed the boat on Nike. I should have bought Nike stock 25, 30 years ago and looked for a return on it. Right now, I've lost money. I've lost money on Nike for damn near a year and a half, 2 years. I haven't made any money on the Nike stock since the day that I hit purchase. It's been declining every day. And I've lost more than 50% of that stock. And I've had it for about 4 years, 5 years now. Fairly new. I just thought, I don't even buy Nikes anymore. I do. I bought it. I got a bunch of Jordan collections, but I don't buy Nikes out of retail shops like that anymore. So I didn't see really anything. I didn't see any interest in the Nike stock, to be honest with you. Probably the worst purchase I've made in the last couple of years has been Nike. And I mean, you would think that they would do much better. They banging these young folks in the head, $200, $300 for a pair of them damn Jordans that we were buying them for $89.99, and we was like, damn, 89? Shit, man, I got to work 2 weeks. I got to get my check. I got to get my money up. And then here come the dope boys, Buddy, and them running around the corner with 3 or 4 pair of Jordans. They had the 1s, the 2s, and the 3s while they was at Coins. Like, fuck, I'm going to work. I don't know. I'm just saying. I thought Nike would do much better. I guess we missed the boat on that. I would never, whenever I talk to people and we're just kicking it and we're talking about stocks or we're talking about something, just kicking it, whatever. I always tell them that's my biggest regret is buying Nike. And I bought a lot of it. I bought a lot of it, what I think is a lot. I bought quite a bit of it because I thought, okay, this is an easy turnaround. It's an easy sale. You know what I mean? It'll stay steady. I didn't buy it when it was in a decline. I bought it for the full retail market value price at that time. And I just lost a lot of money on it. I'll be honest with you. I'm not going to be one of those guys that get on here on the platform. Some of y'all know this about me. I'm not going to get on here and tell you everything about my wins. I do describe and I do break down my losses. And I'm not talking about just in the stocks. I'm talking about on everything. You know, some people get on here. Y'all seen those people on here on social media. They may have platforms, they may not. They just might have a page. And on their page, they always put their winning lottery tickets on there. They always want to flash that one that hit. Yeah, I made that motherfucker. I made that 450. I made that 450. I made that 450. But they don't show you the other 75 tickets over on the side that they got another $250, $300 invested in. Or they don't show you those losing tickets for the week. They don't show you that. They just show you that one that hit. That one that hit. And man, it's weird to me. It's weird to me because the guys that show them winning tickets, I like to show you. I know you play every day. You probably play 2 times, 3 times a day. I guess they got multiple lotteries per day. And I know you play them all day, every day. So why don't you show all your tickets? Put them in like a deck of cards, like you got dealt a hand out of a deck of cards. Put them all in your hand and pull out the one winner, and let's see how many losers you had. You know, I just one thing about social media, we spoke about this about a week ago. I briefly brought this up. I think it may have been Fame, maybe. Him and I were talking. I think we had a little disagreement about something, and I think the disagreement was social media. And I believe, quite honestly, and I probably should do my research on this, but this is one of them things that you kind of apply your common sense to, but I could be wrong. I really believe that teenage suicides are up primarily because of social media. I mean, it's very easy for a young lady out here these days that may not get the attention she needs. Very easy for her who may already have low self-esteem, to already really get beat down by social media. You know, not being as beautiful as what she considers to be beautiful by seeing some of these other little girls. Same thing with little boys. You know, it's been some very smart people out here in our world, people that you and I both know, and they've lost their children to suicide. And the reason why, I can't tell you exactly why, but look at the world we live in. Look at the world that we live in right now. And it's only going to get worse with this AI thing. But look at the world we live in right now that allows our children to be influenced by such fraud. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Fraud. People that are out here faking who they are, what they doing, you know, their successes, their, you know, all of that. I would not want to be a child in a world of when I wake up, the pretend world, Disneyland is in my phone. My friends all talking about what we gonna do today. Let's go to such and such. And it's just a world that don't really exist. It's a made up world. And if you don't build children that's strong enough to deal with those adversities and that situations and that fake and fraud shit, you got your hand. Those kids have their hands full when they get older. Just being honest with you. And I don't care who you are as a mom or a dad. And let me just say this, because this is I've never had to experience this, but I do have people that I know personally that I'm friends with, and some are just associates. And I'm going to tell you one thing that's really, really heartbreaking to me is when one of their children commits suicide. Because as a parent, and I can't speak for them, I'm giving you a perspective from a parent that ain't went through it, but I can only imagine that if my child committed suicide, me personally would take responsibility. I would take accountability. Where did I fail as a father? I'm not suggesting that fathers have failed. I'm not suggesting that, because you can't be with your children all the time, everywhere they go, and you're not in their brains. I'm not suggesting that these parents failed. I know that if my daughter ended up committing suicide, heaven forbid, as a teenager or a young adult, I would probably feel like I failed as a parent. I may be wrong. I might have done everything I'm supposed to do, everything I could do. But I know me. And I think what I'm saying is true, because if you really look at some of the parents that have gone through this tragedy, which I couldn't imagine going through, divorce is very high amongst parents that lose a child due to suicide. So when you think of those people bumping heads and going through what happened to their child, they must be fighting amongst each other, not being able to deal with certain situations. And it's like, what did I do as a parent? What did I do? What did I do? What did I do? How did I fail? And to those parents that may be going through that, brothers, sisters, you may not have failed anywhere. We just live in a world. We already live in a world where kids really don't pay you that much attention. They pretend that they really do. But we live in a world, my child, personally, let's put it on me. So somebody be like, oh, he tripping. Blah. Yeah, okay, I'll be tripping about me. But I know my children, I've done the best that I possibly can. And I know my children are going to make their own decisions and a whole lot of things that I have gone over with them. And they may not make the same decision that I would have made, or they may not make the decision that I taught them to make. That don't make me a bad parent. It don't make you a bad parent. Okay, so I just want to be clear. I am not under the belief that if your child commits suicide, that you are a bad parent. I'm not under that belief at all. Okay, but I am under the belief that if your child does commit suicide, you will feel responsible for that. What parent wouldn't? What parent wouldn't? And I mean, some may be bold enough to say, fuck it, I did everything I could do. No, deep down inside, come on now. You have to ask yourself, and you're probably going to need some help. You're probably going to need some counseling. You're probably going to need somebody to be able to walk you through the things that your child may have been going through. Some of us don't recognize the signs of our kids when they're in a certain situation. You know, we don't get it because parents are not the easiest people to talk to sometimes, maybe all the time. So I don't blame parents when things like that happen. Matter of fact, I was talking about something the other day, and somebody put a post up, and it was kind of familiar to me of what I had said before, or what so much go through my mind. I don't know if I've said it already. I know sometimes I find myself kind of like thinking to myself, and days go by. And I don't know, weeks go by, months go by. I don't know if I had that conversation out in the world. I just sometimes think that some of the things that I think I've already talked about, and sometimes I haven't. So I seen this post. Let me get back on point. I seen this post that said, growing up, we had nothing. Follow me, trust me. This is relevant to what I'm saying. And it said, us who grew up not having anything, we want to give our kids everything. But yet, when you give your kids everything, they learn nothing. I said, damn, you know what? I thought I wrote that post, but I read it from someone. But I've always thought that, because I'm one of those parents that have kind of fed my children with a long spoon, and then I would wheel them in. And I don't, that's the hardest thing about being a parent. When you're capable of doing everything for them, granted, that everything don't mean everything. You know what I'm saying? But when you're in a position to be able to make their life so much easier than yours was, or you're able to give them the things that you never had, boy, you better measure that cup right. You better measure that cup right. Because if you overpour the things that you want to give them, if you overpour it, you are going to really create a monster. There's nothing. Remember that time I said to you guys, I wouldn't have wanted to grow up rich? Wouldn't have felt bad, but I wouldn't have traded growing up where I grew up. I wouldn't have traded that. Okay, I would not have traded those those situations that I had to go through. The I remember the days that my mom and we lived over the palm room over on, I don't remember it off the top of my head, but I remember my mom heating up hot dogs on the stove, but the stove didn't work, so we had to put the hot dogs on the radiator. Now I would never probably have my children would probably never ever go through that. But what it did is it strengthened me. So maybe my kids won't have to go through that. But what do I do in exchange for that lesson that I learned? What do I pass on to my children? They ain't gonna never put no hot dogs on no damn radiator. But what struggle do they have in their life that will replace the struggle that I had with my mom? Where is their lesson? You know what I'm saying? Where's their lesson? That's the biggest struggle that a parent today has. Because I'm gonna be honest with you. If I had to really do a survey on this platform right now, I would say that everybody on this platform, I'm talking about the names that I recognize and the familiar people, people that I know. I don't know where everybody grew up around here, okay? But I would definitely bet, if I had to bet, I would definitely bet that most of us, our kids, our children, are in a much better situation than what we were in when we were growing up. Okay. And I'm not suggesting that everybody my age or, our little age right here, we all grew up dusty. I'm not suggesting that at all. But even if you were somewhat of a privileged kid back then, had options and had opportunity, you still have been able to stretch those opportunities even further for your children. You're just closer to the finish line than some of us that started right here. But we all going in the same direction. But what lessons do we? Hold on one second, guys. My daughter, as I speak. Hold on. I'm sorry about that, guys. Y'all know I be on it. All right. Sorry, I just wanted to return that little text. That's my daughter. What lessons do we pass on to our children? How do we make it where they have challenges? Not quite like ours, because they'll never have those challenges. Well, some people will, but the majority of folks have done much better in life than how they grew up. And that's not shade or shots at our parents. It's not that at all. It's just, we limited on resources growing up. We're limited on, where we grew up is where we grew up, and how we, those things were set in stone for you. So it must be, I guess my initial point is it must be devastating to a parent, obviously, to lose their child. But how could you as a parent not feel guilty about the decision your child made? I don't know, that's horrible, man. So I don't, for those parents that may have gone through that or who is dealing with that right now, I'm only speaking for myself as Wyatt. Bro, sis, don't take it. Don't put it on you. Okay? The world we live in today is much different than how we grew up. The influences are much different than how they were when we grew up. We had a neighborhood. We had 10 or 15, maximum 20 people we had to deal with growing up. Your child today is dealing with the world right in their hand. All the way from being able to hear a quote directly from who they consider to be a superstar. Can you imagine if we lived in a world where Michael Jordan was able to communicate with his fan base in his prime of being Michael Jordan, sort of like LeBron and them are now. Can you imagine us and how influential we would be if we had access to our superstars like they have access to their superstars? Because their superstars are influential to them. Can you imagine being able to talk to your rappers or being able to talk to the people that we looked up to in the music game and they wasn't shit? Like they was pushing mollies and pushing drink and bullshit to us. Can you imagine watching them live when what if we was little and we can watch the Fat Boys? Remember the Fat Boys? I'm just going to use this because I know they didn't eat healthy. All right, let's just make that problem they had with the lean. And how I know they don't eat healthy, because they all gone. And we all knew they was going to heart attack up out of here one day. My point is, imagine if we had, when they were in their prime, we had full access to them and they went live and they was smoking weed and drinking drinking and doing all that other shit live all the time. Imagine if LL was doing that type of shit, smoking and drinking and doing all this old shit, tatting and all that old shit, and making it look like it was cool, and then talking to us at the same time in the live. A lot of us would be different. A lot of us would be different because we got access to our superstars. We have access to the people we look up to. We didn't have that back then. Imagine if MC Lyte was like Cardi B back in the day. MC Lyte was my favorite MC. I might have looked at women different if MC Lyte acted like, if she act like Cardi B and get on and start getting political and get on and start talking about this, her love life out here, her getting her ass tattooed right on the camera, talking about how she do things sexually and all that old shit. I'd have a different relationship with MC Lyte right now, and probably would be in a different relationship with women if that was my influence. We didn't have that access. Thank God we didn't have that access. Thank God our women weren't the way they are today. I'm sorry, ladies. I wouldn't want to grow up in a world where and the guys, what's his name? Boozy. I wouldn't want to grow up in an era where Boozy is my hero. I wouldn't want to grow up in a world like that. I wouldn't want to grow up in a world where I had access to 2 Live Crew, like these kids have access to Cardi B and them, and shaking their ass and doing all that. I wouldn't want to grow up in a world like that. I know I would do things. Ain't no telling what I would have done. Like, for instance, I was watching this. Anybody seen that Terrence Howard? Anybody seen that Terrence Howard video of him talking about Puffy? Now imagine if Puffy and them was when we in the 90s, if we had Facebook Live and YouTube Live and all this old shit like what we have today. Look at what Puffy been out here doing. Anybody believe that shit yet? Anybody really a true believer? Anybody a true believer that Diddy might just be freaky? I'm a believer. I don't know if I believe everything that I hear, but I do know that some people may not step out on the line because I don't know how they benefit when they tell the stories about their experience with Diddy. There's a young man out there who has a story. I don't remember his name. I think it might be Chopper. And he has a story because he was in that group Making the Band. Anybody remember that TV show? I think it was on MTV back in the day. It was Making the Band, and they would have this competition of all these different artists come in, audition, and Diddy would put them in a band. It was called The Band or something like that, or Making the Band. And he put this group together, and it had 5 members in it. I think 2 girls and 3 boys or something like that in it. And one of them name I think was Chopper. And he made a comment. He was a little afraid of what was going on back in the day. And you know, you could tell that Diddy wasn't really the best guy in the world. I thought it was just for I thought it was really just for television. You know what I mean? Making them run to Junior's, which is one of my favorite places in New Jersey. I'm sorry, in Brooklyn. Junior's is a restaurant. When I go to Brooklyn, I always go to Junior's. It's just a cool spot. But and it's a hole in the wall type space, yo. It's not like some extravagant, you know, restaurant. It's really like a diner. It's a very basic spot. But evidently they have some great cheesecake. I don't know. I've never had it, never tried it. But Diddy sent them make them walk all the way from Uptown all the way to Junior's, which is probably about 13 miles. How in the hell are you going to walk 13 miles on foot at nighttime in the cold? So that type of stuff rung a few alarms about Diddy. I thought it was for television. But some of those guys are saying Diddy used to do real raw shit like that in the background when the cameras weren't on. You see what I'm saying? But yeah, Chopper, if I'm talking about the right guy, he came out in a video. He was in that video. He was in that group. And he came out, they were asking him questions, and he was like, man, I seen things with my eyes that were hard on my eyes. And they were like, well, what are you talking about? He was like, man, I've seen Diddy in the studio with a high executive individual. He never named the person. And he said, I seen him kissing. I seen him doing things that just was really tough on my eyes. I couldn't really take it. And, you know, he's not the first one. Now you have Terrence Howard, the actor. You know what I mean? The actor coming out saying things like, Diddy called him out one time, tried to get him to do something. Let me see if I had that video. Let me see if I have the video. I know I do. I just want to know how y'all feel about this. If, you know, like, we already know he's an abuser. It showed in the hallway when he was beating the little girl ass. Like, you know what he's capable of. And generally what I believe when it comes down to men that beat on women, I think they really, there's something wrong with them. Okay. I think there's more than just beating up women. I think there's a lot more to them, there's more going on in their mind than that. I think they have some psychological problems, to be honest with you. Hold on, let me find this video. I'm having a little hard time finding it. There it is. Hold on. There it is. Okay. I think there's some psychological problems with guys that beat on women and had these, you know, that physically abuse women. I think that personally. It's just a personal feeling of mine. But to see Diddy drag that young lady down the hall, to see Diddy do some of the things that he was ego boosting, tripping on in the industry, to see his surroundings around certain executives, Clyde Davis and people like that, and his affiliation with people that already had that type of, you know, they already had that type of reputation in the industry. I don't find it hard to believe. I don't find it hard to believe that Diddy is probably guilty of a lot of the things that he's been accused of. I'm just being honest with you. Let me show you this video right here of Terrence Howard, what he said about Diddy. Some of y'all probably seen it, probably already heard it, but for those that have not, I'm going to play it so you can see it. Check it out.
Never seen somebody recover from it. That was all the people that went to the puffy parties. That was all the people that did all those things thinking that there was never going to be a consequence for what they were doing. That's the only thing I can think of. You lose your damn man card.
What is that? What do you mean by that?
You give up your ability, your right to being a man. A man don't take it. A man gives it. So when you give up that man card, you don't get that back.
Are you saying what I think you're saying?
No, I'm saying what I'm saying. You don't get that back. You come into this world as a man one time. You give up that right for anything, for fear of being hurt, fear of somebody doing something, for wanting to gain something. When you give up that man card right, you lose some spiritual energy that has always been pushing through. Like if a woman gives up her womanly right of being a mother and taking care of her family and do all those things, when you give up those things, but when you give up your manhood, I've never seen somebody recover from it. That was all the people that went to the puffy parties. That was all the people that did all those things thinking that there was never going to be a consequence for what they were doing. get punked out and pimped out by some over greater desire. You shouldn't have a greater desire than being a man. So I believe that's a big problem with a lot of the actors out there, because they get fluid, and next thing you know, once it go fluid, it's gone. You don't have any foundation to pull yourself back from. So maintain your man card, no matter what.
Being a black man, you don't look.
I believe him. I mean, I don't agree with everything that he just said. I don't think that everybody that went to Puffy or Diddy parties were involved. And I don't know if he really meant it that way. I think he meant the people that were involved in the things that they're describing in these freak offs and stuff. I think he's talking about those people, because I think there was a lot of people that went to the parties because, you know, when you're in the industry, you want to show your face at big spots. You know, you want to be there. You might have went to the after party of the party. That might not even have been where the freak offs was. It was the other stuff I think Terrence Howard is talking about there. I think the people that involve themselves in the things that are in the indictment of Sean Puffy Combs. That's what I think he's talking about. I don't think he's talking about anybody that stepped on the grass of the estate of Diddy and, you know, and showed up at a party. And that goes for anybody that's been accused, like the Beyonce's and Jay-Z's. They may not have had anything to do with it. I don't know. I ain't in the conversation for that. I'm talking about the fact that underage kids, boys and girls, were in these indictments. That's what I'm talking about. And some people were talking about, why hasn't he been put out on you know, let out on bond and things of that nature. And one of the biggest reasons is because it's a federal case. And in most federal situations, anything that's not considered to be, I don't know, physical harm, detrimental to other people, generally they'll let you out without a bond. You know what I mean? Feds are a little more lenient on stuff like that. But when it comes down to physical abuse, things of that nature, or if you're a big influencer, if you have access to a lot of money, if you can get away, you know what I'm saying, if you can escape. And when I say access to money, it don't just mean get a flight and move somewhere with your passport. I'm not suggesting that. I'm talking about being able to get out here and do things to potential witnesses. They're always going to look. They take those things in consideration at the federal level and at the state level when they're talking about bonds of letting people like this out, when they have, you know, that much influence. And it makes sense, guys. It really makes sense to, you know, Diddy could be dangerous, but I'm just going to be honest. I don't want to seem like I'm hating on somebody because he's not guilty yet. Don't look good for him. But if you really look at his resources, the people that he's involved with, you would think that some things had already went down, and maybe they have. We don't know, because we don't know who all the players are in this particular situation. We don't know. We do know that Cassie is supposed to be testifying. Thank you, Roz. That was coming. Thank you for reminding me. Cassie has been set by the prosecution to testify against Diddy. I don't know for sure that she's going to testify against him. But let me just say this. I sure in the hell don't think she's testifying on his behalf. I seriously doubt it. Now, I'm only assuming that her testimony is going to be for the prosecution. I'm only assuming that. But you're talking about someone that won a $40 million lawsuit, civil case against Diddy. They settled out. So she got her $40 million before they locked his money up. You know, they locked his money up. He transferred everything to his mom and all that old shit. Trick no good. The feds ain't going, you know what I'm saying? People think, oh, the police on me now. The feds on me now. Let me get this shit out my name and blah. Oh, they going to rescind all of that. You can't do that. I don't know why people think you could. Like, I was one of them little dudes that was a little bit ahead of some of my friends growing up. First of all, it was the ones that had to be, that were for real about what they were doing. I would listen to y'all know these guys. You grow up, the guy justifying the reason why he's selling dope is because he's trying to get his mama out the hood. He gonna buy her a house. We all been heard that shit from a whole lot of people if you grew up that way. All right. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna get my mama out the hood, man. I'm gonna buy my mama a house. I said, you know, now I was the kid that said shit like this, and that's why a lot of people didn't like me, because I would keep shit real. I would say, man, if you buy your mama a house, bro, she still got to be able to have means of having that house, bro. How she gonna show, man? How she gonna show that she got that house, bro? You know they're gonna rescind that. They're going to take that house knowing you paid for it, and they'll be like, man, shut the fuck up, man. Damn, you think you know everything? All right. So go ahead and put them cars in your mama name like you think you about to do this and all that old shit. And you about to be smarter than the feds. Go ahead. Go ahead, motherfucker. Go ahead. And I watched them put cars on the trucks and all that old shit and wheel them out. And he's screaming and hollering, that's my mama car. That's my auntie car. Don't make y'all fucking with me. No, bro, I was trying to tell you. I didn't say that to them, obviously, but I'm just saying. People don't really want to hear the truth. They live in a lie so they feel better about the shit they doing. And then when the truth comes and they get reprimanded for the shit they doing, now I'm the bad guy because I tried to tell you. I even knew how to do it the right way, but you don't want to listen. Now you blowing big, trying to put shit in your mama in them name. And this is the reason why I'm bringing this up, because Diddy did the same thing. Trick no good, as my man Steve Spencer told me. Trick no good. You can't put all this shit in your mama name overnight and think the Fed's gonna be like, damn, we missed it. Damn, we could have got that. We missed that shit. We missed it. You can't do that. They already didn't stop the process, because before you even knew an indictment was coming, they knew 3 months ago an indictment was gonna drop. Too late. They didn't already stop the process. Hard heads, soft asses. Deanna said, people don't understand that. They will take your money and the property of the people that benefited from it. Absolutely. Your mama on Section 8, she don't make, she might have a part-time job. She make $11 an hour. Now I'm talking about back then or whatever, $10 an hour. And she's riding around in a C190, a car that costs twice her salary with rims on it. It's your car. And the reason why I said 190 is because we going back in my days. She has no means of being able to have that vehicle. She don't have any lottery winnings. She don't have anything showing that she was able to put, any money down on the car, and you can't finance it. So you bought it cash, and now you got to show means of how you were able to pay cash. My biggest thing back in the day, I would always tell them you wanted gambling. They can never prove that. They can never prove that you didn't win that money in a crap game. I don't care how dirty it sounds. Yeah, I got it illegally. You just didn't catch me. They still going to take it. But at least you don't get hit with a tax charge. You know what I'm saying? You don't get hit with a Fed tax evasion when you gamble on the street. Now, don't go in the casino, hit a lick, and then what a casino kind of keep up on that these days. For those that don't know, maybe you do go to the casino, maybe you don't. If you win so much money over, there's a certain limit. I don't know what it is. It might be $1,000. If you win over $1,000, the casino will automatically deduct the taxes, state taxes out. They're not going to W-9 you and all that, or W-10, whatever it is. They're not going to W-9 you or anything like that. You're going to be responsible. You're not going to be responsible for those taxes. They'll take the taxes out of your winnings. If you go down there and hit a $10,000 or a $5,000 slot machine, they are going to take the taxes out of that money. And guess what, fellas? I shouldn't say fellas. I should say people, because there's women that have back child support too. If you hit a $10,000 slot machine, if you hit the jackpot and you $10,000 behind in child support, forget about it. They running a check on you before they cut you that check. You now just paid your child support off. So you should thank that slot machine for taking care of your responsibilities, because they're not going to give you that money. That money will be seized. And then they'll tell you, You can't have this money, man. We about to pay your kids. We about to pay your child support. Just letting you know. That's why you have to have ID and a player's card and all that old shit. And you can deny it all you want. Now, I don't want no player's card player. I don't want y'all all in my business and all that old shit. Don't hit no jackpots then. Don't hit that. Let me go to the phone lines before I get started in me. Good afternoon, caller. This is Wyatt. Who am I speaking with?
Hey, this is boy Cincinnati King, CK, that's what they call him.
Is that what the CK stand for? Is Cincinnati King?
The Cincinnati King is on the phone with Wyatt.
Damn. Cat Daddy.
Hey, man.
Listen, man, I didn't know what CK stood for. But, hey, bro, all this time, now I know.
Hey, that's the Cincinnati King. Hey, you better clarify, because I'll be out of LA, and you know you'll get popped with that name, CK, real quick.
Well, probably so. Sounds gang affiliated to me. What's on your mind, CK?
Hey, man, I seen a picture with you, your lovely wife, and your daughter at the festivities, man. I have to say that looked like Black excellence.
Yeah, ain't they lucky to have me? Ain't they lucky to have? Tell them, CK.
You've been in their life, you've been in your daughter's life the whole time from conception.
Every day, I brought her home in a blanket.
Come on now. Now look at her. Flourishing.
I hope so.
But that's because you made education a priority in your household, sir. Did you?
Preach. Absolutely.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. And this topic you're talking about with Diddy is freaking fascinating.
Ooh. Enlighten me.
I believe Sean Combs is 100% not guilty.
What?
Wyatt.
What?
Yes. I said it on your program and let the masses know. He will be coming home, sir. They got nothing but 1,000 bottles of baby oil. And when I checked my law books, I seen nothing illegal about having baby oil, sir.
Nah, it ain't nothing illegal about having baby oil. You're right. That was just to humiliate.
Got him, Wyatt. Got him. I told you I didn't go to all the colleges you went to, but I got some of that knowledge you got.
Yeah, well,
some of it, not all of it.
We all know, bro. I mean, you can buy baby oil on the shelves at the CVS and Walgreens and at Walmart and Kroger. You can buy, baby oil. Baby oil don't make you guilty. But
what the hell? I went over Wyatt's house. I found 20 million paper clips. What the fuck that got to do with the law?
Well, baby oil is kind of relevant to some type of devious and some type of sexual, doings that might require, I'll leave it right there. Everybody can use their imagination.
Don't let them do that to you, brother.
No.
Don't let them do. No, it does not. It's nothing devious about baby oil. It's baby oil. You're rubbing on that ass. It makes ass glisten for the strippers and all that.
Okay.
It's nothing bad about it.
Okay.
It's hot. Now, as far as consumption, my personal consumption of baby oil, I don't like it. It's for aesthetics. It's not for feeling. Like with sexual activities with baby oil is hot and uncomfortable in my opinion.
Okay, that's fair. I mean, I don't really know.
I don't like it.
Okay. Well, he had 1,000 bottles. Somebody liked that baby oil. Somebody liked that shit. Okay. All right. It's serving some type of purpose. All right. And all I'm saying to you is, from the allegation, here's the reason why the baby oil.
That's a softball. You must want me to knock that one out the park.
No. I'm gonna give you something to think about. About the baby oil. I really don't think the baby oil is what y'all think it is. Okay, I think it was to humiliate him, but it was also, it's going to be used at what nails him at his hearing, because the people. Wait a minute. The people who I'm almost finished. The people who are going to testify, they are going to testify, and these stories are all going to be separate but equal. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? That's how you do it. And that's how you do it. When you're trying to get someone, when you're trying to get when you're trying to get a conviction and you have all these witnesses, these stories have to collaborate. They have to collab. They have to make sense. And there's going to be people that have not been there on the same days and the same time and all of that, where these stories are going to coincide with one another. And that's how you get a conviction, because they have no affiliation with one another, But yet these stories are, this is what they did to Bill Cosby. All right. And that's how I knew.
Totally innocent, and he beat the case. You remember that.
Well,
you
he
remember
didn't
that.
beat
We
the
was
case
fighting over that,
because
not
of,
me and you.
he didn't beat the case because of lack of evidence and things of that nature. He didn't beat that case because of that. He beat the case because there was a flaw from the prosecutor's office.
From the beginning, it was frivolous from the start.
I agree. Look,
and you know this, sir.
listen. That's where you and I agree, CK. I don't believe that
Okay.
I believe that Bill Cosby was guilty of doing some things with those women but I think it was consensual. I just believe that Bill Cosby was doing drugs with them. And that's something that never was discussed. I believe that he was doing some type of drugs that was affiliated with the drugs that they claimed they were getting drugged up. I don't think it was that. I think that they were getting high and doing shit like at the Playboy Mansion and shit like that. And I think these women all had the similar stories, and they had one attorney who's a Hollywood attorney who pretty much put all these stories together and really made him look like the devil himself. Lucifer himself.
Lucifer.
Exactly. And I think what happened is when you can get that type of situation going on, you got to understand the person who defended these women had to have all these stories, and she pretty much orchestrated this thing to make it look like all their stories was the same. All their stories probably was the same, CK. It just wasn't the drugging part, the masking of the drugging. I think that he got high with them. They had sex. They did the things that they do in the Hollywood mountains and shit. I think that's all real. But the drugging them and having sex while they were down, I don't really believe that, because I just don't believe that, because
it's your image, sir.
Say it again.
Look at the image you portray. Look at your image, sir. I'm talking about you when you look in the mirror. I just said what you represent. Fatherhood, education,
but what
right?
did Bill Cosby represent?
That, sir.
What exactly?
Allegations can destroy that, sir.
Exactly. Yeah, I give you that.
I'm telling you false allegations from 1994.
Okay.
Just a false allegation on Randall. Like that. That type of pain. Like that. The allegation alone can destroy you. It doesn't have to be real.
Oh, I understand that. You're right.
You remember Chingy?
The rapper?
Chingy, career destroyed. Allegation false.
Okay. Okay.
The man took a picture with who we believe was a woman who happened to be a man.
That's a different situation.
No, but it still was a false allegation. All I did was take a picture. I am a freaking entertainer. Wyatt, I feel that you should be able to take a picture with anyone. I don't think that a picture should be held against you. You don't know the person you're taking a picture with.
So
sir.
what happened in that case? Are you saying that a trans person or somebody that dressed up like a woman or something like that took a picture with him and then claimed that they had a relationship or something?
That's exactly what they did. Orchestrated.
Okay.
Orchestrated and ruined that man, and you've seen it ruin him.
Well, I don't know. I think if Chingy would have put a little bit more hit, maybe all that shit would have went away. But we don't know about that.
Oh my God, you just threw everything y'all said. You threw everything y'all just said. I said one allegation would destroy you, sir.
Well, that's not true. I mean,
it's not.
No, because a lot of people get allegations. Eddie Murphy got into a
it
situation.
Destroyed him.
No,
Thank you, Wyatt.
Eddie Murphy done made millions.
You heard. He's not getting up, Jim.
Huh?
He's not getting up, Jim. Wyatt took a knee. I don't think he's getting up. Is that a body shot?
You think you put me down?
You just lost.
You think you put me down? I just used Eddie Murphy as an example.
Eddie Murphy, and you defeated yourself, sir.
Okay.
You defeated yourself. Are you ready?
See the game, what we doing here. I forgot. I'm sorry. I'm behind. You know I'm a C student. I forgot that when you call that we're battling. I forgot about that shit. I didn't know. I thought we was having a dialogue. I thought we were just talking. But you actually trying to put me on against the ropes and knock me the fuck out. I forgot about that. But what
you done knocked me out a few times. You done knocked me out a few times.
Not on purpose. I didn't do it purposely. You know, maybe because the conversation was going in a certain direction. But what I'm saying to you is this, bro. I agree with some of the things that you're saying when you say that people reputations are destroyed you know, by people making false allegations. That happens all the time. But stars and artists and people like that can bounce back. You know what I'm saying? They can bounce back pending what their next moves are in the industry. Chingy was a
Okay.
one-hit wonder. He's no different than Chingy.
Did you hold on? What did you say?
He's
He
a
was
one.
what?
How many albums did he put out?
What did you just say out your mouth? He was a what hit wonder?
One hit wonder. And what I mean
Name
by
that
that,
one
maybe
hit,
if
sir.
it was an
Name that
album.
one hit.
I don't know the name, bro. We talking.
Thank you. Because it's multiple. You losing, man.
Well, wait a minute. If he was that
if
strong, then I shouldn't have a problem saying any of his albums or his records, right? But he wasn't that powerful. He wasn't that strong of an artist, bro.
Because you know, reason why you didn't name it, because you know I was about to name the other one and prove your one hit theory.
I can't name one off the top of my head. Chingy he wasn't moving nothing like that back in the day. He had a song or two. What's the song? Remind me.
Float on.
What was it?
Float on. You don't remember that?
Float on. I remember the original. I don't remember
That's Chingy.
Huh?
Float on.
Oh,
Aquarius. My name is Chingy, and they call me Aquarius. You remember that? Float on.
You fucking that song all the way up. No, I don't remember that. I remember Float On. I remember Float On. Mama Birch, who sang that Float On back in the day? That was the Sonics or some old shit. I don't remember, but
the Floaters. It was the Floaters.
Okay,
now you know that's the one. Now that's a one-hit wonder. Your song is named after you. It's like if you dropped a hit single called Wyatt Lies. Like that's all you know for. At least they know your name.
What time your break over with, bro? What time is your break over with?
Let me listen, sir. You listen. The Eddie Murphy part. Now you man enough to say if you right or wrong. If I can convince you that you made a mistake.
Absolutely, bro. Absolutely.
Okay. Eddie Murphy. My point. You said one allegation, baby. And what allegation was that, sir? What allegation did he?
Well, he was with I don't know if it was a trans person or if it was just a man dressed up like a woman. I don't know what it was, what the situation was, but they said that he picked somebody up out in Cali, out in LA, and he claimed that he was just giving them a ride. All right. And maybe he was. Okay, that was his side of the story. And that was the end of Eddie Murphy. Well, that one allegation took him off the map, sir. Are you serious, bro?
Have you ever seen Eddie Murphy again since that day?
Yes.
Look at the date. Look at the date.
Okay, when did this happen? Look it up and tell me when it happened.
I bet you it happened 90.
So
90.
you telling me right now?
Mike Tyson lost. Mike Tyson lost to Buster Douglas, and then Eddie Murphy. It was a bad 1990. Because Tyson lost at the beginning of the year, then Eddie got caught with the train.
So you telling me that was in 1990? Are you
sure? 90, 91.
Okay, let's round it. Let's round it. Let's say it was in 1990. You said Eddie Murphy ain't done shit in 35 years.
Thank you. Now,
wait a minute. No, I'm not. Wait a minute. I'm not agreeing with you. I'm asking you a question. You saying Eddie Murphy hasn't done anything in 35 years?
And I'm about to present evidence of zero by Eddie.
Okay, go ahead.
Are you ready for the evidence?
Yep.
Yeah, this is why I got you. See, you didn't see this one coming.
Okay.
Listen, sir. Delirious, number one. Then Raw. His comedic strong point was so into the homosexuality topic, he could not face the audience ever since the allegations. He couldn't do it. It took him off the stage, sir. He has made zero specials. He was on fire. The man, that's why he only got 2. And then I got another fact for you. 10 kids, sir. He wasn't having. Check his kid count before and then check his kid count after. Nigga, you having babies trying to convince people you like pussy because you got caught with that boy. So yes, it did affect his career. And we did lose probably 7 or 8 better specials.
Okay.
From a legend. That's where I got you at.
Well, okay.
All right, come with the rebuttal, sir.
Okay, well, I'll say this to you. What I've learned in watching a lot of comedians, you could say the same thing for those that are hot right now from doing stand-up. Look at Kevin Hart. He fire, right? He's one of the big names. When you look at people,
top 3 in the world.
Okay. Imagine. Okay, would you say that Kevin Hart hasn't had a stand-up in about 5 years?
Yeah, I said he has. What did you say?
You know what slow their careers down in stand-up? And I think I learned this from Marlon Wayans, but just by listening to one of his interviews one time, and I was like, oh, that makes sense. Because the Wayans brothers are like the black royalty of Hollywood and don't get enough credit for the shit that they've paved and the things that they've done in Hollywood for black folks. They really don't get enough credit for that. But I will 100%. Say this. I think what he said was true. The Wayans said that stand-up comedians tend to go to the movies and make the 20 million and 30 million paychecks, or like Kevin Hart is doing right now. And the stand-up is not there anymore. They burn out of doing stand-up. If you look at Cat Williams, he's been on the road because that's pretty much what he does, because he don't really play. He told you got to pick one or the other. You're either going to be on the road as a stand-up person, and if you hit the road, you don't have time to do movies, or you can make the 20 or 30 million dollars and do 1 or 2 movies in a year, and that's easier money for them. I mean, it's an easier situation, and it has it's a lot easier because it's scripts that's written versus you writing jokes and doing stand-up and going across the country, city to city, 50, 60, 70 cities in a year. That's pretty hard work versus working on a movie for 6 months on a set, or 3 or 4 months on a set. They like the bigger money for doing less work. And movies make them a much bigger artist. You know, they're a lot more famous because they're worldwide. You can only do so much on the road.
You being the intellectual you are now, don't dodge the bullet though. I need you to address this head on. So Cincinnati comedy style was heavily homosexually based on those first 2 specials, and he would have had to address that situation if he was to come back with a stand-up.
You know what? I'm gonna be honest with you, bro.
At that time,
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know how to answer that, but I'll answer it like this. I've always thought when Eddie Murphy was in Delirious and he had that red suit on and how he was doing shit, I thought that there was a little bit of sugar in the tank, quite honestly. I thought that. Now, hear me out, though. But I also know that men who know how to do that type of shit, like Prince, I don't think Prince is gay. Prince was gay. I don't think Prince was gay. I think he did that shit because there's a ton of women out here that love men that are that type of way. And I think Eddie Murphy found that same lane of being able to wear. What man wear tight clothes on purpose? Like for me.
Hold on now. What? Don't do this to us now. What? I'm gonna expose you, Wyatt.
Oh my
God.
Was
the era. The whole 70s, 80s, they was all dressing crazy and tight.
This wasn't the 70s. This wasn't the 70s.
80s. I'm talking early 80s.
He wore tight leather suits in both of them, Delirious and Raw.
Did you see Dr. Dre World Class Working Crew? What did he have on? Sequence. This is how they all dress. Don't do that to Eddie, man. They always on it.
Okay.
You gonna try to put it on?
No.
Slow
down, homie. All I'm saying to you is this. Yeah, I remember. Damn, I wish I had that picture. I remember
Rick James. He had high heels on.
But that's what I'm saying. It was sexuality they were selling to women. Like that's the world they were living in. Because women
Eddie was doing the same thing with the tight pants. You gonna take it from him? So they was doing it, but he wasn't.
No, it's how you do that. What I'm saying to you, brother, just hear me out. It's how you carry yourself when you're doing these things. Like, you know, Prince, a lot of people thought Prince was gay. I don't know if he was or not, but he carried himself a certain kind of way because I don't know if he was trying to lure in gay men, but I know women loved his ass to death because there was something about that way that man, they loved the way he combed his hair. They loved the way he wore his pants and them heels and shit. A regular dude ain't on that shit. Like, we ain't fucking with that. Well, okay, When Doves Cry, we love the song, but I could go without looking at him. But listen, you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, bro, there's a thing that I'm not an artist like that. I don't know what it is, but I got a cousin who was a huge Prince fan, and the things that, you know, the posters she would have up in her, I remember that shit to this day. And Prince would be on the wall with no shirt on, but he'd have a perm. And I'm saying to myself, that looked fucking gay as hell. And it's nothing wrong with being gay. I'm not suggesting that. I'm just saying he was selling some type of lifestyle to women. I don't think he was doing that for men.
And this is the heights that Eddie hit, the heights of Prince as a comedian. You have got to see the boundaries that he broke. And he was on a special his specials was so far. He still has the best specials now, sir. That was the 80s. If you ask any comedian, white or black, who has the best specials, it'd be he the one get named more than anybody else, right?
Who?
Eddie and Richard.
Well,
Them the
Richard
top
Pryor. There's
comedians
no
ever
better.
of all
There's
time.
no one better than Richard Pryor ever. Okay, that's just
But
me.
they right there with each other. But he's the father.
Okay,
Red Fox is the grandfather.
Okay, so
Richard is the father.
let's get back to
Yeah.
the thing because I know you got your break about over because you screaming talking about put me on, my break about to be over. So let's get to the bottom line before your break ends because the supervisor be coming around the corner any day now. But listen, the bottom line is you said that Eddie Murphy got set up, right? You said Eddie Murphy got set up, that shit wasn't real.
No, I never said that. I said Diddy. I said Diddy was innocent. I never said Eddie got. I said
who brought Eddie
Diddy,
Murphy up to the conversation?
No. What I said, no, but you're twisting my words. I said Eddie was a person that couldn't rebound from the allegation.
But you're right.
One allegation
You said
took him out the game.
You said that, and I said that that's not true because Eddie Murphy's had a pretty good damn career since that incident with the transgender person or the
it changed him as a person, sir. He's not the same guy before that. He was a different Eddie. Now he's nice Eddie. He was regular Eddie before. You know this.
No, I don't. But okay.
No, he was no. Remember, he was street before. He was straight off the streets of New York City.
You're saying that Eddie Murphy changed. No. I'm just want to clarify. Maybe I heard you wrong. You're saying that Eddie Murphy changed after those allegations, and he was caught with the cross-dresser person. You say that he changed, and you said that it was the end of his career. You said his career was gone after that. That's what you said.
It took his soul. He lost his soul.
Did he lose his soul or did he lose his career?
Yeah, you're right. He did not lose his career, but I'm saying he lost his stand-up career.
Okay. And my whole argument at that time when you brought that up, and I know we went a lot of distance with this one. All I was saying to you is Eddie Murphy has had a pretty good damn career before and after that incident when he was caught with the cross-dresser. He's done pretty good.
Now, would you say he's the number one guy of all time in Hollywood? I would. Number one actor, entertainer, comedian of all time. When you look at his movies, I don't think no one could F with him. Nobody.
Eddie Murphy? You said Eddie Murphy?
He's bigger than Tom Cruise, sir. Bigger than Tom Hanks, sir. Name an entertainer that could fuck with him. You can name the big wigs they can't fuck with him. Brad Pitt can't fuck with him. Who can fuck with Eddie on the movie side? He got all the movies every year. Harlem Nights, Coming to America.
No,
Come on, now, Distinguished Gentlemen.
They had some good movies, man. I just would think that and I don't like putting people up against one another, especially when it comes to brothers, but I will say this, man. The only person off the top of my head that I would put in the category, and I don't mean, and they two different genres of people, like they two different actors. One has to be funny, one is very serious. The only actor that I can put in the boat of saying they may have done much better projects than Eddie Murphy, if in our community, in the black community, would be Denzel Washington. I don't think anybody can touch Denzel Washington in his projects.
And if your comparison is Denzel Washington, you must be the greatest. That's what I'm telling you, cuz. That's what I'm saying, Wyatt. If you telling me, CK, I seen you fight, and the only other fighter I seen that could fight better than you is Muhammad Ali. Don't that mean I'm the greatest?
No, it means that Muhammad Ali is the greatest. That's what that means.
I'm saying, but you saying Denzel the greatest. So if you compare me to the greatest, I'm the greatest too. Yeah, you can't get nobody.
I was
else
giving
to
you somebody.
No,
what I was giving you made him out to be the greatest. I was giving you someone that I thought was
you
better.
You said the only person. You didn't say, oh, it's a lot of people I can name over there. You said the only one. You named.
I said the person in our community that comes to mind. Okay, the person that comes to mind is for me, off the top of my head, I didn't have time to think about it, would be someone like Denzel Washington, because of his catalog of movies. That's it. I mean, somebody just put Ben Thomas really just said Samuel Jackson. Samuel Jackson got just as many movies, probably more movies than both of these guys combined.
But he can't fuck with Eddie, you know this.
Samuel Jackson can.
Now, Denzel might beat him. He might win the decision. I don't think he'll knock out Eddie, but I think the only person that could equivalent him is your boy, what's his name? Adam Sandler.
Well, Adam
Sandler and Eddie Murphy.
I mean,
is the same
there's a
person.
lot of actors that I can put in this category. I was really trying to conduce it down to our kind of, because we got some actors that didn't go international like those guys. You know what I'm saying? Like Eddie Murphy is an international name.
He Michael Jackson.
Well, okay. I don't know if he's Michael Jackson of acting. I don't think he's the act of the main
comedian.
screen.
No, a comedian. You're right.
Okay,
you're right.
Okay.
But I'm saying, as far as his movies, his conglomerate, when you look at his shit, only one you can fuck with him is Adam Sandler. Because as far as the production, when you look at who owned the right, he be making his own. He got some independent joints going, or some companies.
Man, there's a lot of people out there that we don't get a lot of we're not even thinking of those people. Ben Thomas is throwing names up in the air that's just making me really understand, where we are. And that is, he said Samuel L. Jackson, Denzel, Lawrence Fishburne. There's a lot of guys, but see, Lawrence Fishburne is not really one of them guys that has gotten his due, where he's some type of huge big star, where, you know what I'm saying, he's not this global name. He's a big star, but he's not a Eddie Murphy. He's not played in these these award-winning films. He's been in a few, but Lawrence Fishburne is probably one of my favorite actors. You know what I'm saying? But he's not really.
Mine too. I just watched him. But look what he did, man. Jerry Rice, Jordan, they put the record up so high that these new cats can't even mess with him. LeBron didn't have a chance. You got to go 6-0. How do I go 6-0 in championships? You know how difficult that is, sir?
Right. Okay.
You have to. Man, hey, man, thank you for having me on your show.
I appreciate you, man. Thank you.
This was a good one, man.
We spun it off a little bit. Did I get up on my, did I make my 8 count? Did I get up off my 8 count?
Who won the debate? I think you might have won this one.
Oh,
who won? You tell me who won.
I wasn't in it.
So you tell me who won.
Well, first, can I answer that? I don't think anyone won. I think we had a conversation. It didn't have to be a battle. I think we just had a dialogue. And I just thought that you were pushing Eddie Murphy in a direction that I was like, I don't think Eddie Murphy's career fell off because of that situation. And that's kind of what you were saying. We went off on a whole bunch of other tangents, but I don't think Eddie Murphy's career suffered. I think he went through some scrutiny and some criticism, but I don't think it stopped him from getting movie scripts. And I think he chose to do what he wanted to do, and that was to get in movies. Eddie Murphy played in some good shit. He really did. And his career didn't suffer. I think he chose not to do stand-up because a lot of those guys will tell you, Dave Chappelle and a lot of them will tell you that stand-up is difficult and you burn out.
Because you got to talk about you. You would have to.
Not all of them talk about themselves.
All you talk about with gay stuff and your stuff. So you would have to be like, this is what he didn't want to do.
Eddie Murphy didn't only talk about gay stuff.
Listen, he would have had to be like, you telling me in his stand-up, if he did it, you would have had to come right back probably in the next couple of years after that and address that. You'd be like, look, man, I thought it was a dude. I thought it was a chick. I thought the dude was a chick.
Well, Eddie Murphy
had to and make a joke out of it.
Yeah,
that's the only way he could have beat it.
Eddie Murphy being the great writer and the great spinner that he was, he probably would have came out and said some shit that would have made everybody laugh to that situation. But he wasn't on stage when it happened. It wasn't in a movie. It wasn't a decision that.
And address the 10 kids too. You tried to look over the 10 kids. He didn't have all them kids before that. He started having kids because people was doubting his sexuality. That's a good point I hit you with that you tried to overlook.
No, it's not.
Yeah, I'm gonna listen to you on that one, man. Much love to the family. I'm gonna listen to you on address the kids, please.
All right, I will. Thanks for engaging with us, CK. I'll holler at you. Just because you start having a bunch of kids, that might not be the way. It might be the way that some people try to validate or solidify that they all man and I'm having these kids with these women and blah blah blah. It might be somebody's way, but what I've seen in the past, guys that try to make it look like they not gay, they just hang around a lot of women. They generally have a lot of women. I hang with them, but they got new women all the time. You know what I'm saying? They got something new. Is that what they say? They get the baddest actress out there. They make sure they get the most sexual, the lady that everybody love on the big screen. You know what I'm saying? They usually do shit like that. They kick it and be around all the women that every man want, that we desire. And they show that they can get them and they have them. That's what, that's what they tend to do. I don't know about him having shit. If I had $50-60 million and was sitting on getting royalties and getting, all my all the shit that he's been in, he don't even have to work. He don't have to do anything. Eddie Murphy could sit back and just get the residuals off his work that he put in all that time. It's kind of hard to have that type of life and not start having kids when you have time to sit at home and not do shit all the time. That's how I see it. It's kind of hard not to have a bunch of kids at that time. Let me go to the phone lines real fast. I'm sorry, my phone is acting up. Well, it's not acting, it just shut down on me, but it's back on. Feel free to give us a call right back. My apologies. I mean, what else you gonna do when you sitting around and you got 2-3 mansions, you got a badass wife, and you know, what else you gonna do? I mean, having kids is a normal thing. I know dudes got 10 kids and they ain't got no money. They have no money. And they got baby mamas all over the cities. Are they trying to show how much man they are by having a bunch of kids? No, man, they just doing what they doing. And they just, you know, I don't think these dudes out here, that's just me. I don't know. Maybe that was his tactic. I don't think dudes are out here having babies, dropping babies to prove that they're not gay. I don't think that's what it is. I know some dude, I worked with a dude one time years and years and years ago, who was a flaming, hey, you know, he wasn't all like, hey, all that old shit, but you could tell that he was gay. And he don't call him his name, you call him Mickey. You feel me? That was his name. Like, that's what everybody called him. Call me Mickey. He had a daughter. I don't think he had a daughter trying to show people that he wasn't gay. I think he just kind of liked both. You know what I'm saying? I think he liked both. And he happened to get a lady pregnant. But I don't think Mickey was having a baby and having a daughter because he was trying to prove to people that he wasn't gay. I just think that he got caught up in having a child, just like a heterosexual man that may have had unprotected sex and they had a child. Let me go back to the phone lines real fast. Good afternoon, caller. This is Wyatt. Who am I speaking with?
Yo, Wyatt, what's happening, man?
Hey, what's going on? This Steve?
What's happening with me? Can you hear me better now?
A little bit, bro. It's still a little bit, yeah, I can hear you a lot better than it came in.
Yeah, I was scrolling down, I heard somebody say Eddie Murphy or something did 2 shows and quit because he was gay. Did I hear that right?
Bro, I know this shit sound crazy, but yes.
Yeah, man, who was that guy, man? I don't have a clue what he's talking about.
That was CK. He said that Eddie Murphy got caught. Now, I could be exaggerating because I tend to do that occasionally when maybe I heard something the way I heard it.
You're going in and out, man.
I can hear you clear. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I don't know. You going in and out though. It's like, I don't know.
Well, I hear you perfectly, and the people
good.
can hear you perfectly. But he did say
he said he quit doing comedy because of that situation.
He said he did that he stopped doing stand-up and it was effective on his career. And he said it was in 1990. And I'm like, shit, that was what? How, if you do the math, 1990 was what, 35 years ago?
So he didn't mention Lord Have Mercy. He didn't mention The Piece of My Mind like Richard and all the other ones did. See, you know, I hate when people make assumptions on things, man, and don't mention the facts. And the reason he stayed away from that transvestite got killed. And so Eddie was told to stay away from it. He couldn't mention it. He wasn't going to mention no comedy shows or nothing. So, I mean, and I understand it. Then he said he had kids to try to make people think he wasn't gay.
Well,
man, you know what? That's what's wrong with the black community now, man. Guys like that, right there. Right there. I mean, real talk, bro. You know, now, Prince, nobody talks about Prince.
Oh, he said this, Steve.
God rest his
Steve,
soul.
I'm reading the comment.
You know what I mean?
He said that
he
stopped.
walks around with booty cheeks sticking out and then pumps on and everything.
No, people
You follow me?
criticized. Yeah, they criticized Prince for that. They thought he was. They talked.
But you know what? No, they don't talk about Prince like that, calling him gay and all that, because Prince ain't never been known to be gay. Prince had his own style.
Yeah,
you know, he had his own style. Prince had more women than most guys in Hollywood.
Yeah.
You know, and then so did Eddie. You follow me? So did Eddie. And what they don't know, man, is them fertility treatments to get your girl pregnant. You follow me? See, a lot of people just talk, man. They just assume things and then put it out there as fact. And that's not right, man. That's not cool. You know, and I think that, you know, I mean, I know a little more than most people do. You follow me?
Yeah, I mean, you used to be on the road with Eddie Murphy. I know that.
For 8 years. For 8 years. You
Right.
know, I brought him to Cincinnati. I brought him up to the Fair Apartments. As a matter of fact, when Mike Stan, they changed President Drive to Mike Stanford's name,
Mm-hmm.
we were right there. He was standing out there at the corner of President and Nottingham, signing autographs in the Fair Apartments. So, and I don't know, man, but I just hate when guys be saying things they didn't heard or don't know what they're talking about, man. See, them the kind of guys I want to catch at the barbershop and say, how much you want to bet? Put your money where your mouth is. You know, but anyway, I just heard that, man. It kind of pissed me off a little bit because it's obvious the brother didn't know what he was talking about.
Well, I think he was just. I think he was giving his opinion. I think because he just made a
Well,
comment.
he's entitled to that,
right?
Yeah,
but I think what he was saying was he stopped doing stand up after that because he put it in the comments. He said, "I was saying he stopped doing stand up," and I'm saying that just because he stopped doing stand up don't mean, number one, that his career was over. Number two, Eddie Murphy has done a lot of work in 35 years. You know, after that situation. I think he chose to do movies over stand-up.
He didn't stop doing stand-up after that, Wyatt. He continued to do stand-up a few more times after that incident. So that was the part that really ticked me off because he didn't know what he was talking about.
Well, okay, I don't know one that happened after Raw. Okay, we're talking about these things like what they're doing, these specials. We call them specials now. I don't know what they were called back then.
Man, I can't you breaking up.
But I don't know what they're called, but we're talking about he did Delirious and he did Raw.
You talking about the stand-up tour? Yeah.
Yeah, he
Look
did.
up Lord Have Mercy. LAWD.
I don't remember that one. So I don't know about it.
See, a lot of people don't. But see, I'm just saying, though, that's why a lot of people think, because they haven't heard of any, that was fact, that he didn't make no more. Well, I mean, I don't know, man.
No, I'm going to have to look it up because I'm an Eddie Murphy fan, so I would love to see
yeah.
Do you remember when it was done?
I don't, Wyatt. I don't.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna have to look it up. You said it's called what?
I don't. Yeah.
What is it called?
I'm sorry. I can't really hear you, Wyatt. It's hard. It's kind of hard for me to have a conversation. I can't. You going in and out.
We hear you fine on this end, bro. For real.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay.
No, I mean it's beautiful. It's coming through crystal clear. What was the name of that special again?
Lord Have Mercy.
Lord Have Mercy. Anybody else?
You know how they say Lord Have Mercy, Lord Have Mercy.
Lord Have Murphy. Okay. I never heard of it. Anybody else heard of it? Twin said he did Saturday Night Live, which I know he did that. He did plethora of movies. Eddie Murphy was well and alive doing stuff. He was working after that situation.
Yeah, man, he never stopped working. He never stopped working. He got busy. I mean, that was just an unfortunate situation. And, you know, people think, man, I tell you, man, these people are something else, man. They're something else. But that's it. I just heard that man wanted to call in, man. Okay. I just thought that was so funny, man.
All right, bro. That's cool.
All right, bro.
All right, man. All right. Later. Thanks for engaging with us, Steve. Yeah, I kind of probably, if I'd known that Steve was watching, I would have told y'all he was gonna call because he know Eddie Murphy personally. So we've had plenty of our own conversations about Eddie, and I don't know Eddie Murphy. I'm a fan. I'm a fan of his work. I'm a fan of his stand-up. I like Delirious. I was a little young. I was young. I was a young dude when Eddie Murphy came out with Delirious. Matter of fact, we lived in the Faye. I lived in the Faye Apartments when Eddie Murphy came out with Delirious. Raw, I don't remember where I was in life with that one. I don't remember that. But it was okay. It wasn't as strong as Delirious for me, but it was good. And then after that, Eddie didn't do many. I didn't see. Now, Steve is saying Lord Have Murphy came out. I've never heard of it, but that don't mean it doesn't exist. But I can name a ton of movies he's done after that situation of when he got caught with the cross-dresser dude. I could mention a ton of things, but I don't think his career died. And the thing was, Chingy is what we were talking about. I don't know how we got caught up on Eddie, all right? But Chingy didn't have some strong-ass career. Maybe he wasn't strong enough of a celebrity to be able to survive criticisms of what he did or what he was accused of. I don't know. But Chingy wasn't somebody that people was requesting for me to play them songs, and he wasn't that. Like he wasn't that. He had a good he had a couple good records. That was it. Not everybody can survive some of the criticisms in Hollywood or accusations. And getting back to the Diddy thing for a hot second, I believe that testimony will prove what the government has, what the federal government has on Diddy. I think that they have enough. I think the judge has seen the 527 and understands that if I let this person out, I probably have 200 that would be endangered. And we can monitor what he says and what he does as long as we have him in a cage. We can monitor it. We can keep a tab of what he's saying. Y'all know Diddy ain't no like some he's not some dude. He's not from the underground world. Have y'all heard his trend? Did y'all hear him talking to his son on that video, on that recording? He talking about pizza boxes and shit. He's talking in code, and it's like the dumbest code shit you've ever heard in your life. Like, make sure you pick up all those pizza boxes. Tell the pizza box not to go over and go pick up the other ones, and tell the person that who be delivering the pizzas to make sure that they clean up the room. The fuck? Like, Diddy, bro, leave the gangster shit to gangsters. See what I'm saying? That's the hood boy trying to, and he didn't even grow up in the hood, but that's that hood shit trying to be on some gangster or some street level shit, and you just not that. CK said, Wyatt, they have no evidence on Puffy. Okay. All right. You think he would be sitting in a federal holding facility with no bond, with no evidence? And they just announced that Cassidy is going to testify against him. And what? What's she gonna? She can't testify about her situation that she had with him, so it's not gonna be about that. She's already signed, no non-disclosure. She can plead the fifth on any question that comes to her. She's not gonna answer anything about their dealings. They're gonna ask her questions about what did he do with others? What was going on in these situations? How do you are you all this testimony from other people? Could you say that these things would be accurate from you being present and being around this? Not just some hearsay. She was in those rooms, bro. Her testimony is probably going to be one of the most detrimental to Diddy. Let me go to the phone lines before I get out of here. Good afternoon, caller. This is Wyatt. Who am I speaking with?
What's up, Wyatt?
Hey, what's up? Twin, what's going on with you, brother? How you doing?
I can't call. I don't think Eddie stopped working though after he got caught up with that training.
Nah, man. CK.
He kept going and everything. I mean, he took a break or whatever, but I didn't too much like some of his movies after Raw and all that. Some of them was trash to me. But he kept going. That Delirious and all that, what, 83, 85? Something like that, 85, somewhere 87.
Probably right around there. Yeah, I don't know.
And
it might have been before then.
Heavy with Murphy was around that time too.
It might have been like
I think Raw was the last one.
Okay.
Yeah,
I don't remember when Delirious came out. I can look it up real fast, but
87, 88. I know
I don't
late
think
80s.
I thought it was more into the middle or early 80s because I lived in the Fay Apartments when it came out. So I lived in the Fay up till about 83, 84. I was gone after that, so I knew it had to be right around that time.
Yeah, seemed like he was a one-hit wonder, that Chingy dude, because the only thing he brought out with the crowd was right there. I love it when you do it right there, something like that.
Right. Okay.
That's the only song I remember that he's singing. Other than that, I saw him in a couple of movies and everything, but other than that, with this Diddy situation, I don't condone, what he did and everything else, but Wyatt, Yeah, I gotta look at it like that. We tear each other down, man. We know what you did back in the day and everything else. And then when them white folks get in your face and you know, bribe you with some money or whatever and everything, we want to turn against each other. But what about Hugh Hefner and Epstein? They never mentioned them about that. See, we knew, everybody knew what Diddy was doing, Cosby and R. Kelly. But when every black person that passed away did some or reached that high level, it's a problem. You ain't bigger than us. We still your slave master, whatever. You know, you ain't never gonna be top of the white man. We just look at history, man. From Angie Stone a little while ago, from Michael Jackson, from Whitney Houston, R. Kelly. All of them did an audit on there, want to know where that money is. And then when they said what money or what you mean, we own you, nigga. Tap dance our song. And you don't go with the get along. Here come the allegations and all. See, they been knowing what happened. This 2016 when it happened. All of a sudden, here's 2022 or whatever he went to jail, 24 or whatever. It's a problem now, man. That stuff is all crazy to me. And there's no leaders or nowhere to step up like, man, this is wrong. You got that boxing MMA dude, Dana White. Slapped the shit out of his girl and all that and other and ain't said nothing else about it. But here it is, you still talking about Diddy and other people, man. It just don't rescue me. So I'm not gonna shame a person. Was they wrong for doing what yeah. But besides that, y'all knew what was going down. Y'all knew what was going down. When the money ran out, everybody wanted to go the other way.
Who is y'all knew what was going down? Who is y'all?
Man, the people that was in his circle, they've been rocking with him from day one. They knew how he was getting down with the baby oil. And it ain't nothing wrong with baby oil. Hey, he ashy. Or somebody, a woman, or whoever he got over his house, kids might be ashy. Put some damn oil on. Shit. Hey, he might have ran out of KY jelly. Hey, I got some baby oil to penetrate in you. Who knows? Ain't nothing wrong. Ain't nothing wrong with no damn baby oil, even though I don't use it.
Well, I think, Twin, what we need to do is hear the purpose of.
I understand all that crazy stuff. He bought drugs, some numb somebody up to get what he won't take advantage of somebody. You can do that.
Well,
then, and everything. But some people when I was in a joint, use it for retaliation. When that deck go off, sitting that deck up, they take baby oil and powder, mix it together, put in that motherfucking microwave, bam, scorch your whole body. That was back in the day when I was locked up.
So that might have been why Diddy had all of that. So when somebody pissed him off, he would heat the oil up and then he would throw it on them.
That was in a joint when they used to do that in a joint, man. When that joint gets set up, gangs against gangs or something like that, you take some baby oil and some baby powder, wrap it up, put it in the microwave, and you can scorch a nigga with that. Man, to give some Al Green grits on your ass. I used to do that, man. I witnessed that shit. So him doing all that, ain't nothing wrong with that. Hey, but that sex trafficking and all that, ain't nothing wrong with flying no pussy up in from state to state. I don't feel like nothing wrong with that. Why tricking ain't tricking if you got it, man. If I'm in here in Cincinnati, I want somebody, flying me in Chicago or Florida or whatever, Detroit. Hey, that's my business. I paid for that. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't sex trafficking.
Well,
I need to be pleased. So I don't get that sex. That's not sex trafficking.
Well, it all depends on what happens and if there is a payment. You got to understand, prostitution is not legal everywhere. Okay,
I know that.
So if you're bringing someone into a state that doesn't allow you to do prostitution, but yet you're paying someone for sexual acts,
not prostitution, man. That's not prostitution. Hey, I'm bringing your in. We about to have a good time.
Okay. Twin, Twin, let me ask you, what's your definition of prostitution then?
I mean, prostitution, like, going out there. I mean,
let me help you one time. Let me ask you a question. You tell me.
Prostitution is like when you're going out there on a hoe stroll and everything for money, tricking for money and all that.
Oh, so only in if you hit the strip. Only if you hit the strip and find a girl out there working the strip. That's only the way that's the only way you see prostitution. So now let me ask you something. Okay, let me ask you a question. If you at work, this is a hypothetical, okay? This is not what I think happened to you at work. If you're at work and you're in the aisle 7 over there and you stocking a shelf and you see a nice little girl that look real good, she's right what you like, and you turn around and say, hey there, Miss Lady, what's going on with you? And she say, nothing, I'm chilling. And she's like, boy, you look just like something that I just love to have in my life. And she said, well, you can have me for $50. And she said, and you say, well, I get off at 5. And she says, well, for $50, I'll do whatever after 5 o'clock. You take her home and get her $50. Is that not prostitution?
No, that's called I need my needs fed.
Okay, all right.
I need this bill paid.
All right, so then then you don't understand what prostitution is.
In my life, I understand what it is, but in my eyes, hey, she need that bill paid.
Okay.
She needs some diapers.
Okay.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. Hey,
okay,
I ain't got the money. Hey,
so
mama told me take what I got.
I'm giving you the definition. I'm giving you an example.
I know what you're saying about it and everything. Right. I know what you're saying about prostitution.
Well, then that's how you get hit with sex trafficking. Okay, sex trafficking doesn't necessarily mean that the person that's being trafficked is someone that's going against their will.
I'm saying that's my definition of it, man.
What I'm saying is, you got to understand how a sex trafficking.
I understand what you're saying, man. About the prostitution.
Twin, I'm backing up a little bit to the charge of sex trafficking. Sex trafficking is not always someone that's doing something against their will. Okay, it's trafficking someone to do sexual acts for payment. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? It's not like, okay, I'm stealing somebody and making them go do sexual acts and against their will and blah, blah, blah. That's part of it as well. But you can still be hit with a sex trafficking charge if you take somebody and cross state lines with them and you're having sex and you're paying them for it. You can get hit with that type of charge.
I don't understand all that, but man, in my books, man, hey, she looking for a come up. She want to be paid.
Okay, so that's trafficking. That's bro.
I understand what you're saying, but in my eyes, no, man. They knew what was. He's a big time celebrity, man, and everything, and they know he got the money. Hey, babe, what you doing? Hey, I need this Dooney bag. It costs $5. Hey, I'll fly your ass out. Hey, we can do something. I got that $5 for you. Come out here, please.
Okay, so if you tricking, that's prostitution. You just tricked. You tricked off whatever the bag costs. That's a trick.
Man, regardless of anything, tricking is tricking.
It's tricking.
You can buy her a damn hamburger.
It's tricking if you got it. Don't hit me with that bullshit. It ain't tricking if you got it.
Man, you can buy a hamburger or whatever. So damn, get her nails on you, still tricking off.
Right. And if you take her to Kentucky, they're gonna hit you with they can hit you with a trafficking charge.
That's not no trafficking charge, man. Right, I flew your ass to please your ass. I don't care, man. They looking at it a different vocabulary, man, or something.
Okay.
This a new generation we living in, man.
Ain't nothing new about
flew her ass in, and everything got that Dooney bag, and she wanted more. He said, "No, I'm through with you. I'll pass you to the homeboy now." Oh, that's how you gonna treat me? You can't satisfy me? No, I'm done with it. Oh, don't worry about it. You hit me across my head in 2016. Matter of fact, I'm about to take you up top, tell you fuck that little boy and stuff. And that's all that happened.
You know
what? He messed up. He messed up when them billionaires, when he won that case with the billionaire. Oh, we got something against this nigga. He think he tougher than us. You remember he rapped about it? Richard didn't know white folk. All that. Yeah, man, it's called the big playback. You will never be tougher than them white folks that they see. We still your master. That's how they look at it, man. If you go back on the timeline of all the celebrities, man, been locked up or been dead because they did an audit on their royalties and everything. Oh, we own that, master. You own shit, nigga. Come on, man. I mean, Wyatt, wake up.
Well,
I look at it like that, man. I fuck that. We ain't got nobody to ride with them. You know, I know I don't condone that, man. They wrong. But still, man, when this shit go stop? Well, the white man get to go home. They don't.
Stop with that nonsense white man, black man shit. Please stop.
Man, I'm not gonna stop with that. What the hell you talking about, fool? I ain't stopping with shit, man. You done lost your light-skinned man. Talking about some stuff.
You're affiliating something that don't have nothing to do with what point you.
What the hell you mean? If you look at life in the timeline of the niggas, how the celebrities, black celebrities been down, man. Come on, why
did Epstein kill himself, or do you think somebody murdered him?
Man, he ain't kill himself. Show me the tape. Show me that tape when one of them niggas show us the video if he one of them officers went in there. how he did it and all that. Hell no, he ain't killed himself. He did put some in his goddamn food, took him out. Come on, because he knew too much. Look at his rappy. That girl, his rappy. She couldn't even get a phone call. Why? No, bitch ain't getting up. Bop the side of her head. Because she knew too much. Whenever you know somebody get put away that quick in a Fed case like that, why?
Well, she had an expedited case. She had an expedited case. They ran her case fast.
So she can shut the hell up because she knew too much. She couldn't even get a phone call.
Well, okay,
no, you ain't get no phone call.
But what's the point of that? I mean, what are we saying? I mean, what are we doing?
Because you asked me about you asked me did Epstein kill himself? I said no.
Well, what I'm saying to you is it happens to them too. That's you was talking about the black and the white shit, and I'm saying
that why they tease you about bringing out the documents and videos, whatever? Because they knew we can't bring this out. We got such and such on. He too powerful. Hell no. We pushing back off this. We'll pump fake the crowd and everything, give them something to talk about while we run these politician numbers up. But right now, hell no. Let me see that again. Don't take that out of there. We ain't sending that out. Come on, they go edit that shit. If anything, if they do decide to put it out, Wyatt, you gotta think, man.
Okay.
I be thinking about these shit because it's not real to me, man. That's some bullshit. I look at the timeline, I'm like, all these black celebrities get charged, and you got Dana White bopping his wife in front of everybody. Then, I'm sorry, babe. I'm sorry. And went home and ain't said nothing. Now he's still on, man. It's fake to me, man. This world ain't real. These some phony people, man. Okay. And then they let the people take us down.
I will agree with one thing on that. I will agree that Dana White probably, and I don't know because I know it happened in Vegas. But I don't know exactly what happened in that case. Like, did he get charged? I don't know.
Man, you see, they ain't talk about it no more, but they can still give you Diddy and R. Kelly and Bill Cosby. They sure can talk about that.
Okay, here's the difference, if I may. The difference is this. Diddy got a ton of people that testifying against him. R. Kelly had a ton of people that testified against him. Victims, bro. There's a difference. If Dana White's wife, wait a minute,
man,
bro,
if you look at it, man, if you look at it, we know about the shit. Why is this think for a minute, man? We been know about the shit, how they got out. This ain't nothing new. You think them white folks gonna have nobody walking around with them undercover? Like, see what he doing? What he doing? Oh, he got old girl, little 14 on there. Or he got this. When the song Sparkle said, you ain't gonna do this, you ain't gonna make my album. He said, I told you to wait. Now you want to come over here. Oh, okay, I got you. Hey, make this Me Too movement tape for me. And that's how dude been jocking R. Kelly for so long. That little editor from Sometime, he been after R. Kelly for 25 years. Now he got with Me Too people and Spark and all them. Damn, we got something on your ass. They been know about this, Wyatt. White folks know about this shit. They got informants. They pay informants, fake rappers. He'll take this 100 band, follow his ass. We got you.
All right, so let me ask you a question though, twin. Just because let's stick to R. Kelly for 1 second, if you don't mind, and then we're gonna close it out with Twin. Let me just ask you a question. So you think since we've been knowing about R. Kelly since back in the day from BK when we used to wear British Knights, since he's been doing it that long, we're supposed to just wait a minute. Let me finish the question. At least let me get the question out. Okay. You think that it's okay since it's been going on for so long?
I don't think he'll condone that shit.
Okay, so why isn't he supposed to be in jail? Why isn't he supposed to be in jail for the things that you knew what he was doing? Everybody knew.
They been know about when he soon as he asked for his royalty, and when they done with your ass, they done with you.
Well,
when they done with they done with.
Let me say this to you. Let me say this to you because this is something that I know for a fact. Okay, I just want you to hear me out. Maybe it ain't gonna change your mind. I know that, but I want you to understand. R. Kelly lost his royalties and he lost his publishing to his music well before these accusations came out. Okay, I want you to know that.
Did.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Let me tell you how I know that. He's illiterate. His lawyers fucked him. Okay, he signed stuff that he didn't know he was signing. R. Kelly,
it was his managers.
Okay, well, whatever. His team. They screwed him over, twin. R. Kelly don't have a lot of money now. He didn't have a lot of money when this thing went on because he was not collecting royalties off the music that he made because he didn't own the catalog anymore. So if they really wanted to do R. Kelly bad, They didn't have to do him like they did him with the jail thing. They could have just let him starve, because everything that he's been doing out here, look, the people that own his music and all that make more money if he was outside the gates performing and keeping the music alive. Did you understand that? If he's sitting in jail, the music only gonna last another year or two. Okay, but if he's out here touring and going on the road and keeping his music alive, people will still be playing old school R. Kelly because he was in the city last week. And he don't make money on the royalties. He don't make money on that stuff that they playing now. If they brought out a commercial from Wendy's and it played an R. Kelly tune, he don't make money on that. So
who make money on it?
Whoever owns his catalog. Whoever owns whoever get the BMI, whoever get the money on his music. Remember,
so they go for Prince and Michael Jackson and all them.
No.
So you mean to tell me they ran out of money too?
Well, no. Here's the problem with
Prince. When they want your head, they want your head.
Prince
when you was through, man. Gone with that, man. You can't pump fake me with this shit. Gone with that, man.
We're not talking about the same thing, Twin. You think I'm against?
Man, we talking about all of them, man. We talking about all of them. That royalty and all that shit, gone.
Twin, all of them had different situations with their music. The only one that really owned everything was Michael Jackson and Prince.
And what happened? What happened to him now?
Well,
they finally got a hold to it.
No.
Oh, you too old. Give her that shit.
No, Michael Jackson gave it up. Michael Jackson.
He don't own the Beatles and Elvis no more, man. They took that.
Michael Jackson's son, if y'all remember this, his son.
No, man. They got that. Them white folks got all that shit back, man. Okay. You ain't been reading up on them.
I know how they got it. It wasn't because they took it from somebody. I know how they got it. How did they get
that? You too old. You too old, lady. You can't run this.
Okay, how did they get Prince stuff? What happened?
Man, Prince didn't even leave a will to nobody.
Exactly. So if you don't leave a will, how did they just take your shit because they did all this to you? His music got in somebody else's hands because of his lack of doing things the right way. And I heard, wait a minute, hold on, let me say this.
Within 24 hours, why he wind up dead, though? Let me say after performing.
Bro, let me
man, you ain't pump faking my man with that
No, I'm not trying to pump my fake your mind, bro. Let me just.
You're the same one that kill it with the white folks. No, because y'all close.
Let me give you.
Because of y'all skin. Gone, man.
Let me give you another example, bro. Whitney Houston. Okay?
And
Dr.
She did an audit on her stuff.
Say what?
She did an audit on her music.
And what
Where's
happened?
my money?
Okay.
And wind up dead. Go in there and get his dope.
What did Whitney Houston own?
She owned what did she what was that song? I Always Love You and all that.
Okay, you think
on the Bodyguards or whatever.
You think that
and
was
other
her song?
Stuff she owned.
You think that was her song?
Probably she wrote it.
Do you know she wrote it? Do you know that?
Sampled or something?
Do you know who wrote that song? Do you know whose song that was? That was Dolly Parton's. That's Dolly Parton's song. So how?
Okay,
give me some other songs that Whitney Houston wrote, produced, and was getting royalties on. Name one.
I can't recall, but she had royalties on.
She was a performer. She was my favorite female singer. I know a lot about Whitney Houston. She didn't own them songs. She was a performer. She didn't write and produce those songs. Okay.
But when you're getting paid off royalty and everything else, and then you do an audit on like, why I'm not doing this? Every one of them did an audit on it, and here they come, just like the last one, Angie Stone. She the only one died in a vehicle. Come on, man, it don't make sense. Aaliyah, probably the only one died in the vehicle, in the plane. It's not adding up, man. Just back to Epstein.
You went all the way to back and forth.
No. I'm tired of your ass because you close to them white folks and everything. Your skin color, you acting just like them.
I'm used to that.
No, I'm seeing it as a bigger it is, man. You can't kill me with that. All of a sudden, all these great rappers come up dead, and once they ask for their royalty and master, something like that's a problem.
Hey, you forgot one. One of my little favorite female rappers was Left Eye. You forgot to put her in the argument. They killed her too, right? Yeah, they killed her too, right?
He was gonna go over there on his basketball league. This man been flying through snow, hail, and sleet and all that. All of a sudden, he dead. Come on, man.
You know, people
flying
die
in the airplane, man.
Twin, you know, people die. That includes celebrities. You know,
I understand
I'm
that, but this shit
hey,
is
Twin, let me say this to you, bro. a celebrity, this might not resonate with a lot of people because it might be off the hinges for a lot of people. But I personally think that a celebrity has more shot at dying unexpectedly than you and I, because we're regular people. We don't have a day-to-day risk like they do. My risk might be a little longer than some people's because than most people.
Man, go on with that. Your time is your time.
No,
go on, man.
What I'm saying
it's your time is your time.
What I'm saying, you're right about that, twin. But what happens is the more you do in life that makes you travel and take helicopters in bad weather and shit like that, the more risk you take each day of dying. They have a higher percentage of dying before regular folks like you and I, because they travel and they do a lot of stuff, going city to city into these clubs and performing. You know what I heard? I don't remember exactly what artist it was. Oh, it was T-Pain. You know the artist T-Pain? T-Pain said, I don't know. T-Pain said that he doesn't like going on the road because he goes city to city and he don't know what's going to be in those cities. He said a day playing video games. He would rather do that than get out on the road and perform his songs. You hear what I'm saying?
I hear you.
And the reason why is because the risk. They have a much higher risk. Celebrities have a much high. That's why they have bodyguards. That's why they have security. They have a much higher risk of being killed out on the road or out there than the average person. So what we're doing is we sitting back describing people that's dying in helicopters and dying in Jeep accidents, and you think somebody killed them when in fact they're doing higher risks.
I don't believe that. That's
Okay,
my opinion.
I'm not trying
That's
to convince
my
you.
belief. That's my opinion. I don't believe what you're saying.
Okay,
and I stand on it.
All right, well, you know what, bro? We ain't gonna agree all the time. You and I both know that. We had that discussion. I still love you, but we just don't agree with everything. On everything.
Right. That was a good game last night. When it fan.
Oh, I loved it. You know what? I couldn't lose though. I wanted Houston to win, but I was going for Florida, but I like Houston. Did you see them out there arguing and shit? I told y'all Houston played just like the boys club. They got ballers, but they gonna look at each other like, man, why you shoot that shot? They just I wanted Houston to win, but I couldn't lose last night.
Yeah, I think that was one of the greatest NCAA tournaments last night, because I don't like them blowouts 10, 20, 15. I like them go neck to neck, man. So they both of them, congratulations to both of them. They did their thing. I can't say that. I really did wanted Houston to win.
I did too. I wanted to see them guys win. To be honest,
I wanted Ralph. What's his name? Kevin Sampson. Yeah. I really wanted him to get, because he put in some work.
He did. You know what was cool about the Final Four, though? You know what was cool about the Final Four? It was cool to see all number ones get down to the Final Four.
Yeah, I ain't never seen in a while.
That. Yes, it hadn't happened in a while. But I would rather have seen some sleepers get in there. But it makes sense when all Final Four teams are number ones. That makes sense. I was okay with that.
Hey, Wyatt, did Cincinnati still got that same coach or what? The Bearcats.
Yeah, I think they still got him, bro. I don't, I'm not favorite. I think they do, bro, but I'm not a fan.
Yeah, I was hoping they bring Bob Huggins back. But,
oh, that ain't gonna happen.
Man, I don't think he got along with old girl though.
They should have never let him go, but then at the same time, I understand they had a reputation to keep. But Bob Huggins went to West Virginia and got in trouble. He got the same trouble that he got in Cincinnati. He got in trouble in West Virginia.
Man, he can't take them losses, man. And hey, man, you got to throw it back one time for the full time and stuff. And I'm pretty sure he learned his lesson. I'm gonna wait till I get home to drink.
I'll be honest with you, twin. I don't think he learned his lesson, because when he left Cincinnati, he ended up going to West Virginia doing the same shit.
Well, you coaching them young guys, and you want to win this season, and damn it, he can't take the pressure, man. So it's only thing that could, calm him down is, 6 to the back and 2 to the face and everything. So, that was his therapy type. I guess. I'm assuming it is. To throw him back. All that pressure he was under. So, he wanted to win so bad. And then I was rooting for Bob. And then to take, I hate he left Cincinnati. because he's a good coach. Do they still do Jordan still endorse him?
I don't
Or they
know.
took him off the sleeve?
I think that's a thing that has something to do with. I don't know. Now that I think about it, I think coaches do have their own private deals beside the school.
Oh, so I used to go there.
The Jordan
Old
brand.
school, I used to see that big sign up there in the stadium.
Oh, you know what I meant to tell you, twin? You know what I meant to tell you? I went by the Michael Jordan restaurant downtown on Michigan Ave, and it was
they closed. Which one? 60 Blues.
I don't know. It's the one downtown, though. It's the one right there by Michigan Ave. I went by there, walked right past it, and nobody was in there.
I thought because this one, no, this might be another. Because he hit the one, he sold it to Sammy Sosa. And then I thought, oh, no, he sold it to Sammy Sosa.
Well, it's called Mike. It's still called MJ's. It's still called Michael Jordan's. It's still called the one downtown. Still called Michael Jordan's. I thought it was gone.
This a different one, dude. This a different because this one across from where Oppo Studio used to be.
Okay, I'm not familiar
because he had three of them in Chicago.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, but that one must be a different one, though.
Well, I ate there before, and it wasn't all that. I'm just gonna be honest.
The one by across from Harpo Studio.
I don't remember where it was, to be honest with you, bro, because it was many, many years ago. Probably 10, 15 years ago.
I didn't like it either. Macaroni is like, but that food now.
Yeah, I
like they put it in the microwave.
I think the environment, the atmosphere was great in the building.
It
was really nice, but the food wasn't all that. And I was disappointed in that. All right, twin, I gotta go, bro. I appreciate you. Oh, before we go out, I'm gonna let you have the last word, but I'm gonna say this to you. Don't think I'm gonna forget that little shit you just said about my light skin and all that. Don't think, I know when to hit back. I ain't gonna don't think I let that shit I let it go, but don't think I ain't coming back. All right, I'm gonna let you have it for the day. I'm gonna let you have it. No, don't think. Don't think that I didn't hear that shit. I got you on one. I'm gonna catch you when your guard is down. I ain't gonna say shit while you.
I'll wait for you to say it at the end. I'm like, I hope you don't say it. I know you don't say it.
All right. Trust me. All right, I want you to remember this day. April the 8th, 2025. I want you to remember this to this day.
I guess.
And you know what? I'm one of them dudes. I'm like the feds when it come to that. You ain't gonna never, boy. It might be a year from the day before I say something about this shit.
Oh, what?
I'm gonna let it soak all. I'm gonna let you think every day that it might be coming. I'm that type of dude. Every day that you call, every day we have a conversation, you're gonna be waiting for me to come for a comeback. And it might not even
sound like your boy E-Man, huh?
Well, I don't know.
Maybe gotta get you back.
We may function the same way when it comes to things.
I see. I see.
All right, twin, I gotta go, bro. I'll holler at you. Thanks for engaging with us. I had a couple other questions, but I'll get him on the next one. I'm gonna let that disrespect marinate. I'm gonna let him think. See, I let him go that whole time because we wasn't gonna get nowhere if I would have addressed it or if I would have said something. Conversation would have been over. I'd have hung up. I know me. I'm gonna catch him when he in the mode of wanting to hear one of my comebacks, or like when he says something and we agreeing and he loving everything I'm saying, and I'm gonna go in on his ass right when his mouth is wide open. You right, and then I'm gonna hit him with it, and he gonna be like, huh? What? He gonna hit me with the Scooby Doo. That's how I play. That's how I do my get back. And I want y'all to know that light skin shit and all that old shit. Mama Birch, where we from? We been White Boy, Mellow Yellow. We been all these names. Donnie, where we from? We been all that shit. Our whole lives amongst our own people, right in the hood. It didn't hurt my feelings then. It ain't gonna hurt my feelings now. Just letting you know. That shit ain't nothing new about that. Nothing. But Mama Birch, Donnie, can you imagine if we said the same type of shit that they say to us or about it? Can you imagine what we would be called? Do you think that they could take it? They couldn't. They wouldn't be able to take it. My time. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Same time, same place. Right here. Right here. Fantasy.
Y'all ready to kick it? Come on. 1, 2, 3. Swing it. Oh yeah, baby. you're my fantasy. And I want everybody in the house to clap, clap, clap your hands, come on. And I want all the fly money making fellas out there to give me the dog move when I count to 3. Ready? Y'all ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, swing it. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, ready? Yeah. All the money making fellas.